Hi, everyone. Welcome to part three of Serial Stories. Here we are with part three of Giantkiller from Heroes in Training. So let's begin. No one would have believed in the last years of the 17th century that this world was being watched keenly and closely by intelligences tinier than man, and yet with bodies twice the size of a bull elephant. That as men busied themselves about their various concerns, they were scrutinized and studied, perhaps almost as curiously as a drooling toddler might scrutinize maggots squirming on a heap of garbage and wonder if they would be fun to eat. Or, failing that, to step on. From Chapter 3, The Lore of the Worlds, a man called Jack. But why? Said Jack as the Hamadryad and Milky White, with James groaning softly from his perch atop her, vanished into the distance. Did we have to trade your Milky White for real Milky White? Bulganova, corrected the cow. We traded me for Bulganova because she's working for the Giants, plus she's quite a deadly fighter. Hey, keep your hand out of that pouch. Jack had traded pouches with James as well as cows. It was no improvement. James had not packed any cheese. The cow went on. We saved your life back there in case you hadn't noticed, so stay out of the pouch until I tell you. Jack said nothing, partly because the cow was right, but partly because he was trying to think whether pointing out that he had captured Bilganova would be a good idea. All right, other Milky White, and stop that, the cow snorted. I have a name. It's Philomela. At the sight of Jack screwing up his mouth to perform hitherto unimagined feats of polysyllabic speech, she said, Phil will do. All right, Phil. After a pause, Jack said, How much do you suppose the butcher will pay for a cow like you, Phil? Phil looked at him. You know, she finally said, just about any other man, discovering himself to be in the company of a talking cow, would be saying something along the lines of, How does a cow learn to talk? Or, I wonder how much the circus would pay for a talking cow. Yet you're thinking of the butcher. Why do you suppose that is? Because my mum said to sell the cow to the butcher. Faintly, Jack also thought, and Mum also said not to get taken, and there's Phil ahead of me. We're not selling me to the butcher, said Phil. Then how much will the circus or the circus? How much then? 4 beans. Haggle. Try to make it 5. We don't want him to be suspicious. I should take 5 beans from the man we sell you to, repeated Jack, and then he will not be suspicious. Not if Bulganov has intercepted reports or any indication, sighed Phil. 5, 4, 3, 2. What giants? Said Jack. And why were you counting backwards? Never mind, Jack, said Phil. Have you ever noticed how, on most days, there are great white clouds in the sky that look like castles on top of mountains, floating above the valley? Yes, said Jack, pleased that the conversation had taken such an interesting turn. They look like towers and hills and houses. And have you ever wondered why that is? Jack wrinkled his head in thought. It seemed an easy question. That's where the giants live? Phil stopped dead in the street. Yes, Jack, it is. She cocked her head, a difficult thing for a cow. Our local half-a-dryad, pained though he is, did help us stop Bulganova from contacting her agent. Why do you call him a half-a-dryad? Asked Jack. Because he is, said Phil. Mom was a dryad, Dad was a man who didn't mind splinters. Cross a tree and a man, and you get a hedge. He's a bit sensitive about it. Oh, said Jack. Are you sensitive about being a cow? No, said Phil, it's not that much different from life as a princess. Men still drool at the sight of you, of course. On the plus side, it's in the fresh air, and if they do catch you, it's a much shorter and less painful way to go. Oh, good, said Jack. Irony is just the taste of nails in your mouth to you, isn't it, Jack? Said Phil. Anyway, we don't know why Bulganova was meeting her contact, but he's sure to figure out that I'm not her the second we're alone. That'll be the dangerous part, but I can take him. Hopefully you'll be away with the beans by then. You won't be hurt. Until I get bring Mum home 5 beans in trade for the cow, Jack thought. Okay, that's it. That's 5 minutes for Cereal Box Stories, and we'll see you next time for part 4. Remember, if you like this video, as the werewolf said, like and subscribe. Thank you.